It was 10:15 on a Tuesday night when the HOA president showed up on my porch, clutching her son's crumpled report card like she was holding a winning lottery ticket, her eyes practically daring the world to challenge her as the porch light flickered and caught that weird, forced smile, the kind that says, "I run this place, and you're just lucky to be here." If you've never had an entitled neighbor try to snatch your stuff right out from under you, let me tell you, it's a different kind of comedy and humiliation all rolled into one, especially when she's demanding you hand over your brand new Nintendo Switch 2 because her kid got straight A's, and the whole cul-de-sac is watching through half-closed blinds, whispering, "Is she really pulling this again?" Yeah, that happened. And this time Monica Harrow, self-declared morality officer of Pinewood Meadows, picked the wrong neighbor to tangle with. My name's Trevor Clean, I'm 32, and I moved out here 3 years back for peace, a half-decent backyard, and weekends where my only arguments were with uncooperative routers, not the neighbors. I work IT, so my life is mostly server crashes, ransomware headaches, and the kind of office politics you only see in bad sitcoms. I'm not the rebel type. I pay my HOA dues, mow the lawn every Saturday at 9:30, and if you ask the neighborhood busybodies, the wildest thing I've done is paint my door navy blue instead of that drab, approved midnight. Not exactly Che Guevara material, you know? But Monica, she was a special breed. A 43-year-old with a white SUV, baby on board sticker, her kid's 14, always on a power trip, always finding new ways to enforce community values nobody asked for. Her first shot across my bow. Sticky notes in my mailbox about whimsical decorations, which is hilarious when you realize my mailbox is just plain beige with black numbers. Then came the squirrel feeding accusations, the $50 dandelion fines, attracts undesirable pollinators. And of course, the infamous Saturday Facebook post accusing me of hoarding unregistered gaming equipment. She actually used those words. 17 people laughed, then she deleted it. I thought that would be the end of it. But for Monica, humiliation is like gasoline on a bonfire. She ramped things up, clipboard in hand, sneaking around my backyard, snapping photos of my recycling bins like she was running a sting for the EPA, inventing new rules about patio furniture, which, by the way, don't even exist in the bylaws. She dragged her son Brandon on these missions. Poor kid looked mortified as his mom measured my garden gnome like she was prepping it for a police lineup. My coworkers got their own taste when Monica crashed my barbecue, uninvited, walking straight through the back gate and lecturing everyone on proper meat smoking techniques, all while brandishing a decibel meter app to prove we were ruining her son's study session. My boss nearly choked laughing. But nothing, and I mean nothing, matched the spectacle of that Tuesday night. I'd barely unboxed my Switch 2 when the doorbell rang, and there she was, waving Brandon's report card like a check at a charity gala, Brandon hiding behind her, cheeks burning. She launched into her pitch, straight A's at Riverside Middle. A triumph for our community, she called it. And as a financially privileged resident, I had a moral duty to reward academic excellence by handing over my console. I thought she was joking. She wasn't. When I told her politely to leave, she whipped out her phone, dialed 911 right there on my porch, and told the dispatcher, through crocodile tears, that I'd stolen a child's property, citing a fictional HOA bylaw about rewarding gifted students. You can't make this up. 15 minutes later, 2 cops rolled up, one seasoned, one young, Officer Reynolds and Officer Chun. Reynolds took one look at the scene and just sighed. You could tell he'd seen Monica before. Chun, barely containing laughter, listened as Monica frantically waved her badge, Comic Sans font, laminated with glitter, and those fake HOA citations. The officers asked to see my Switch receipt, which I still had, thank God. They glanced at Monica's stack of evidence, her photos of my backyard, proving her trespassing, her badge, and those citations printed on pastel paper like hate-flavored Easter eggs. When Reynolds asked her if she understood impersonating law enforcement was a crime, she claimed community enforcement officer was a real position. She'd made it up. That's when everything flipped. Reynolds wrote her up for filing a false police report, warned her about harassment and stalking, and muttered, not quietly, that this was his third Monica Harrow call this month. As the cops led her off in handcuffs, Monica howled about lawsuits, said she'd sue the police, the delivery company, even Nintendo for creating an attractive nuisance. Brandon just stood there on my lawn, looking like he wanted to disappear. I leaned down, told him he could come over and play Switch 2 whenever, as long as his mom stayed out of it. He gave a grateful nod before his aunt whisked him away. By morning, Pinewood Meadows was buzzing. The neighborhood group chat blew up with memes. Monica photoshopped as a video game boss. Karen Harrow, HOA overlord. Her powers including Citation Storm and Glitter Badge Blast. Somebody made a Monica bingo card. Fun violation. Excessive dandelion. Emergency HOA meeting. That meeting happened Thursday. Monica showed up in her power suit, armed with a 20-slide PowerPoint about community values and the responsibility to support gifted children. She never got to open it. The meeting started with a unanimous vote of no confidence, followed by Mr. Patterson reading her Switch redistribution policy in a fake British accent to roars of laughter. The policy, by the way, said any gaming console over $300 was communal property during report card season. The real twist? The treasurer, Janet, presented results of a snap audit. Monica had spent $700 in HOA funds on candles, wine, spa gifts for herself, and paid to have her badge and fake citations professionally printed. She left red-faced, clutching Brandon's report card like a security blanket. The vote to remove her was 47-1, and even her husband, who'd sat quietly in the back, voted to oust her. She shot him a glare that could have wilted plastic. 2 weeks later, Monica was in court for the false police report. The judge wasn't impressed. He handed her 100 hours community service at the local youth center. Maybe learn what helping kids really looks like. A $2,500 fine and 6 months probation. Monica tried to protest, but the judge just banged the gavel. She stormed out, swearing revenge on the world. But that was it. The queen of Pinewood Meadows was dethroned. Funny thing, after all that, life in the neighborhood actually got better. People started chatting again, barbecues went longer, even the Facebook group was less toxic. Brandon came over a few times, we played Mario Kart. He crushed me, kids got skills. And Monica? She keeps her distance now, though sometimes I'll spot her at the community center, leading arts and crafts. Court-ordered, sure, but she's not so scary without the glitter badge. So if you're ever thinking of moving to the suburbs, let me give you one piece of advice. Keep your receipts, lock up your consoles, and don't ever, I mean ever, underestimate the power of bored neighbors with too much time and a clipboard. What would you have done if Monica was your HOA president? Where's the line between protecting your community and just being a bully with power? Let me know what you think in the comments. Who was right? Who was out of line? And have you ever had your own HOA nightmare story? I want to hear it, because, trust me, no matter how wild your neighborhood is, Pinewood Meadows has probably seen worse.